iHeartRadio Broadway, driven by Mercedes-Benz.
All right, I am so excited because I get to do the cool things with iHeart Broadway. And Alison Jaye is here from Stranger Things on Broadway. It's actually not just called Stranger Things on Broadway. It's Stranger Things: The First Shadow. Yes. But I just call it Stranger Things.
That's all good. It's all the same franchise. We're all good.
So we just saw you. My husband is obsessed. He said you were absolutely amazing. He said Joyce was made for you and you are Winona Ryder. That's what he basically said. So
Success.
Did you actually get to work with Winona Ryder on this at all, on the character?
No. So I would like to say that I hope to meet her. So I feel like there's an invisible, or I hope there's an invisible yet in the sky of like, no, I've yet to meet her.
Yeah.
No, it was a lot of like, to reach her with my brain. I feel like I did a lot of journaling and asking of like, kind of just larger rhetorical questions of like, would you do this? Would you do that?
Yeah.
Through the Bible, of which is watching the TV show and watching all of her other work. Some of the answers maybe came to me, and here Joyce became Joyce.
No, she hasn't seen it. She hasn't come in. Did they not invite the entire cast to come and see it?
On opening night, there was a lot of the cast there.
Okay.
Which was incredible. So I met a bunch of folks, but everyone's in different places, filming different things,
Right.
living their lives. So who knows? People are coming at different times.
Yeah. All right. So she Winona, you need to come. You need to come, Winona. Okay. So here's my other question. You have a huge fan base with this show. Like this, I mean, I've watched all 4 seasons. I think it was 4 seasons. And people love this show so much. It's like, you know, one of those followings where you want to make sure you do it right if you're going to bring it to Broadway. Were you guys nervous about that?
Yeah, I feel like there are, classically, these are like the biggest shoes to fill.
Right.
Right? To play a role like this specifically that has existed and is done by Winona herself, it feels like a very big responsibility. That being said, this group of creatives gave me and us like the most amount of freedom we could have possibly had. And I feel like that also comes from our amazing writer, Kate Tree-Fry, has been writing on the show since season 2 and has been producing since. So she's built this from the ground up. So it was like sitting in front of her every day with different pages, different scenes to try. She trusted me with everything she had, just to be like, you're her soul.
Okay.
Let's just try things on for size and see what works. But I actually, 3 years ago, I started working with them on the workshop. So I did the workshop in LA.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I did it in Los Angeles with them at Raleigh Studios. And then after that workshop, it was greenlit. So that was the thing for Netflix, right?
Yeah.
And we greenlit the show, can this go? It got a check, we're good. And then it went to London and now we're here.
Yeah.
So I've been with them for a little bit.
Wow. And the
watching
fans
this evolve.
have all loved it, right? They've loved what you guys have done.
Yeah.
And have you been a fan of Stranger Things since like the beginning?
Okay, so here's my little secret. Here's my secret, is that I didn't watch the show when I first auditioned for the workshop.
What?
I know. And also when I auditioned for the workshop, it was untitled. They would not tell us what this was because it was like very NDA'd. So we just knew it was a Stephen Daldry project. And that was like, okay, whatever that is, I need to audition for that. And when we found out what it was, and I ended up getting the job, we were in LA and Stephen sat me down and was like, do you know how you got this job? In like his beautiful English accent. And I was like, I don't know, Stephen. Like, you told me. And he's like, that was when he was like, you're her soul. Like, you're her. And I was like, well, that's an amazing compliment because I got to let you in on a little secret. I have not watched the show.
That doesn't, I can't, you are her.
I have now.
Okay.
No.
But
I
even
totally have
then, because if you were her, then how could you have not watched the show? I don't understand. You are so her.
I don't understand either, and I'm just going to take this and run with it. But I think there is some magic in, like, I don't know, there are many, you can meet someone in the world and you feel very close to them without knowing them, and maybe there's a little piece of that if I ever am to meet her.
Okay. Maybe when you meet her in person, she's going to say, I sent the vibes to you because I knew you were her.
You received them in your journal and became her. Yes.
So what's it like when you get the call that this is going to Broadway?
That was crazy because I was going to see another Broadway show with my mom. We were at Glass House Tavern. And it had been like many calls, right? Of like, okay, you got the approval from the Duffers, you got the approval from Sean Levy, okay? But there are many marks you have to hit to get like fully approved. And so the phone rang right before we were leaving to walk into this show. And I was like, this is the call. Like whatever it is the final answer. And I just ran outside and was like, picked up the phone and my agent went, Joyce, is that you? Joyce? And I literally just broke down, felt streaks. It had been such a long process as well, like 3 years of waiting for this to happen.
Of course.
And so it felt like I mean, I don't think I'll ever forget that in my entire life.
That's insane. And now 5 Tony Award nominations later, right? So the cast finds out you're nominated for all these Tonys. How do you celebrate?
How do we celebrate? I mean, we went out that night, and Louis McCartney, our incredible, fearless leader who plays Henry Creel, we went out to a bar and celebrated him and his amazing nomination specifically.
Yeah.
And popped a few bottles of champagne and
Nice.
just hung out. It's like the celebration is just let's endlessly hang out together until this goes bad.
That's
It
awesome.
has not gone bad yet.
So the cast really does get along.
Yeah,
Everybody has
it's
a good
genuinely
time.
a good thing.
That's
It's
good.
genuinely
That's
a
always
good
a good thing when the cast gets along, right?
Yeah. It's really good. Especially in this cast with 34 people. It's like, I always say, I'm like, it feels like a small town. So there's an amazing ability to like, okay, if you happen to be sick of one person, well, you have 33 more people to go hang out with. I think you're going to be okay.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
All right, now we have to talk about the special effects because there has never been a show on Broadway that has special effects like Stranger Things. I can't even. Did you guys know when you were starting the process that these special effects were going to happen, or were you surprised like everyone else?
There was a lot of surprise, honestly, because for a few months we were rehearsing an open jar, which is just like an empty blank slate for you to envision and create. But what was unique about this process was that Paul Arditi, our incredible sound designer, was there from day one of rehearsal, which is really rare. So although we didn't have physically the Demogorgons or like mind flare coming down, Paul's soundscape created a massive awareness of the space that we physically didn't yet have. So a lot of it was like there would be a large piece of wood or something that would come on and be like, this will be the Demogorgon. Like things that you're like, what is my job? But the soundscape helped immensely to bring us into the world when we didn't yet know like kind of where we were.
I mean, has anything ever gone wrong behind the scenes that you guys laugh about?
Yes.
During a live performance?
Are you kidding me?
Oh my gosh.
There was actually an amazing moment during tech, actually. So this was great because it did not pause the show.
Okay.
But the Mind Flayer, we call her Mindy. That is her name, Mindy the Mind Flayer.
Okay.
And this is the first puppet of its kind in the entire world. So there's one man that makes this puppet.
Wow.
And I've not touched Mindy, but I feel like it's probably like paper mache or something, maybe a bit stronger, but something of the sort. And Mindy gets stuck in the sky, like they're trying to bring her back up to go home, and she gets stuck, and the sounds that came out of like the orchestra of all of the techno crew, like screaming stop, because if that breaks, that's endgame.
I can't even imagine how much that costs.
I don't want to know.
No.
But what I do know is that they flew in the puppeteer, the creator, the next morning at like 5 a.m. to fix Mindy, to make sure she went up to the sky for our first open dress rehearsal.
Okay.
So some fearful moments there.
Oh,
but it
my
always worked out.
goodness.
It always works out. It's the best crew in the world. Yeah.
People always tell me like, or ask me like, okay, you saw it, so tell us about the special effects. And I go, I can't tell you. One, I don't want to ruin anything, but two, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. There are standing ovations that happen for the special effects during the show.
Yes.
And the show's not even over yet, and people are screaming and cheering, and you really do take us to the upside down. You really do.
So glad. Yeah, it feels like even from the beginning when I have been like, when people have said to me like, please explain this to me, like give me a taste of what we're doing. I'm like, I really am not trying to be annoying here. I cannot. Like until you see this, it will not make any sense to you.
No.
And you're a big fan of the show and have watched everything, which is incredible with your family. But for a lot of people that have never seen the show, you don't need to.
No,
it's an
totally.
origin story.
Yes.
So like you can really start from the beginning with us and be like, okay, so we're in Hawkins, so there are monsters, so there are real people and people that are bit by a Demogorgon. Like you can piece it together on your own terms.
And the good thing about that is too, it will get more people to want to watch the show. Because if you go see it and you know nothing about it, you're like, well, now I got to see what happens.
Exactly.
You know?
I've actually had a bunch of lovely people that I've met outside that are like, this is my first show. This is my first time seeing a Broadway show. First time to play, and I've never watched the show, but now I want to watch all the TV shows.
Yeah.
So like that's also blown me away. So yeah.
So if someone has never seen the show, right, and has never gone to a Broadway show, what's the one thing you think you can say to get them in the seats?
Oh my gosh. I feel like the way I describe the show is like it's like a trip of a lifetime. Like it feels, there are some audiences too that come that I'm like, I feel like, all right, we're all at Six Flags together. It feels like everyone's sat down, strapped in, and is like, whoa, what are we doing? But I I know that you will be thrilled.
Yep.
It is a thrilling theatrical experience, but I also just think a thrilling live experience. Like this type of, my dad said it best, he was like, it feels like a live movie on stage.
100%.
There's no downtime. You
Nope.
can't fall asleep. Like
No,
even the gray-haired
no,
ladies.
No,
you're not
Grandpa
so
is not falling asleep at this show.
You're not, there was an older woman in the second row the other night, and she was alone. There was no grandchildren, there was no friends, family. She was alone, and she like kept having her hand on her face, and I was like, oh no, is this gonna be the first one to fall asleep? And it was amazing to watch the jump scares. And this older woman, I'm sorry, she didn't have a heart attack, it was all good. But it was quite funny.
Oh my goodness. Well, if that doesn't sell it for you, I don't know what will. It's Alison Jaye, Stranger Things on Broadway. You definitely have to see it. Thank
You're
you.
so sweet. Thanks for coming. Thanks for having me.
iHeartRadio Broadway, driven by Mercedes-Benz.